Test. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Renaissance High School Class of 2025 commencement ceremony. I would like to please ask you, if you are able to, please rise as we have the processional of the seniors. Standing and turn to the American flag as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Well, good evening. I'm Gary Bigger, principal of Renaissance High School, and it's with pride in each student's accomplishment that I welcome you to the Renaissance High School's Class of 2025 graduation ceremony. You've arrived at this point in your life ready to put one large accomplishment behind you and step forward with confidence into the next phase of your life. I want to commend you on your perseverance and grit as you have worked and with determination to finish your high school career. With this grit and determination, I believe you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Many people helped you along the way, and I'd ask that if you are a parent, sibling, grandparent, aunt, uncle, friend to the graduate, please stand so that we can recognize you. There might have been a few other people that helped you along the way, graduates, so I would like to recognize the staff of Renaissance High School. As I state your name, staff, please stand to be. Matt Blow, Rebecca Carr, wait till the end, Megan Cook, Brooke Hargett, Patricia Hilliker, Erica House, Scott Humphrey, Doug Kennedy, Troy Luke, Riley Patterson, Lindsay Smith, Edna Silve, Toast, our most famous, Tony Floros, Alexis Stillen, Stacy Youngerman, Amy Horvath, Terry Porritt, Crystal Colsan, Andrew Breen, Jeff Kelly, Rick Brown, and Claudia Shermer-Horn. Thank you. We're going to move into our congratulatory remarks. So at this point, it is my pleasure to invite Greg Need, President of the Board of Education, to share some wise words with us.
Thank you, Mr. Bigger. Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'm honored to welcome the class of 2025 and all of your proud parents, family members, and friends to witness this very important occasion. With me tonight from the Board of Education are our Vice President, Stephanie Crane, Secretary Cheryl McGinnis, Treasurer Elizabeth Egan, Trustee Steve Heyer, Trustee Amanda Lowe, and our newest member, Trustee Mike Clark. Graduation is one of the most meaningful and fun things that we do as a Board of Education. Because tonight, when we hand you that diploma, we're not just celebrating your hard work, but we're showing our community that Clarkston Community Schools has delivered its promise that the class of 2025 is prepared for a future that excites them and believe that they can achieve their dreams. One of the great things about this graduation is that it's so personal. Now, the Clarkston High School ceremony is also awesome, don't get me wrong, but this one hits differently. Here, every year, you hear the stories that brought each of you to this day, some of which we heard at the awards ceremony earlier today. There were some moments that made us laugh, a couple of stories that could bring tears, and accomplishments that made us cheer. These are your success stories, because you're here tonight to graduate and embark on your own new beginning. New beginnings are exciting, full of potential, but yes, maybe a little intimidating. It's okay not to know exactly what comes next. What matters most is that you believe that you're ready to write that next chapter. And one of the most powerful things about new beginnings is that they don't always follow a straight path. Sometimes the road curves, sometimes the road doubles back. But those detours are often the very things that set us up for the greatest successes. Let me tell you a story of a woman and her new beginning. A woman who faced countless obstacles and rejections, but through perseverance and belief, became one of the most successful authors in the world. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, was not always the household name that she is today. In fact, when she submitted her first manuscript, she was rejected by 12 different publishers. Imagine that. A story that would go on to be a global phenomenon being rejected over and over again. She was a single woman living on welfare when she wrote the first Harry Potter book. She faced personal hardships, financial struggles, and a lot of self-doubt, but she never gave up. She kept pushing forward, believing in her story and herself, even when the world around her didn't seem to believe in her. She would have won the Perseverance Award that I saw a few minutes ago at your awards ceremony. And in the end, that belief paid off. Her story is a powerful reminder that new beginnings can be messy, they can be unpredictable, but if you believe in yourself, they can be full of possibilities. And after you leave RHS and embark on a new beginning, guess what? It's not the last one. There will be many more new beginnings to come. Let me quickly tell you about my family. My son graduated from college a couple weeks ago. His new beginning is starting a new career. My daughter is switching career paths, just opened a cheer gym with two of her friends, her new beginning. And she also told my wife and me that we're going to welcome our first grandchild in October, a new beginning for all of us. So no matter how young or old you are, there are always going to be more new beginnings and new opportunities for your life. Embrace them all. So tonight, as we celebrate your new beginning as a high school graduate, know that your families are proud of you, your RHS staff is proud of you, and Dr. Ryan and your Board of Education are proud of you as well. In a few minutes, we're going to watch you take your last walk as part of Clarkston Community Schools. You'll cross this stage, receive your diploma, shake our hands, maybe give Mr. Bigger one last hug or high five. Enjoy the moment. And as you do, know that you are and always will be part of the Clarkston Community Schools family and the Renaissance family. And as you begin the next chapter in your lives, remember, every new beginning is a new opportunity to do something great. Congratulations.
Tell story first before you come up here. I have the luxury of knowing a lot of administrators from outside this district, and I have the opportunity to talk to them about our superintendent here, who has been one of the great champions of Renaissance. And when I tell them that he takes an hour out of his week every single week to come over and be a mentor for some Renaissance students, I always get the same response of, I can't believe that your superintendent would do that. And I think that that just speaks to the support that Renaissance has, not only from our superintendent, but from our Board of Education, and how important that they believe that this program is. So it's with a heartfelt love that I ask Dr. Sean Ryan to come and share some words with us.
Good evening, everyone. Appreciate looking across this crowd, seeing families, seeing our staff, seeing our graduates, and what an exciting night this is. Seldom in life do we get these moments to where we really get to stop and smell the roses of accomplishment. But as Mr. Bigger said, I do spend time at RHS with a group. I don't like to refer to it as a mentor group, though. Those are my people. And we spend time, they give me more insights and feedback. It's probably the best hour a week that I get to spend in the school district. And it's truly an honor knowing the grads. And I don't know about you guys here sitting there, but I think we've already sat too long. So graduates, can you please stand up for me? That's right. Turn around. Feel that glow. And grads, what I need a little help from you is sometimes you get a little bit of release from yelling. You know, I get up, try to get all pumped up for the day and for, you know, doing speeches and superintendent stuff, and I got Rage Against the Machine blaring or something like that, just kind of to get the day going, is that yell. And what I need your help on 3, because you guys are a team, is we did it. But I don't want to, we did it, or we did it. I want like a, we did it, okay? So turn face the crowd on 3. Tell them what you're about, guys. 1, 2, 3. We did it. And before you sit down, know, as you see your teachers, RHS staff, you see all the people came here in support tonight, you see me, the Board of Education, we're so proud of you guys and what you managed to pull off. It's awesome. Have a seat and relax now. I'll give you a couple words, and then we'll move on to the rest of our night and get your diplomas in your hand. And when you say you did it, you sure did. The truth is, getting here tonight, for all the individuals you see here in the front, took effort, real effort. Not every step was easy, and not every day felt certain, but you kept showing up. Mostly showing up, right? You did. You kept going, and tonight you're standing here because of the choices you made to keep moving forward. I recently read a quote that stuck with me, and I wanted to share with you tonight. I don't remember who said it. I don't know if that's important, but it really struck with me. It said, when you're in a dark place, you think you're buried. Okay? When you're in a dark place, you think you're buried. But really, you were planted. I love that. And here you are, standing taller, roots deep, branches reaching. That's growth. That's transformation. That's what Renaissance is all about. And I mean this, every single one of you, you bloomed. I'm so proud of you. Not too long ago, I sat down with our seniors. I brought food. It helped. Pizza, breadsticks, salad. Not anything huge. But it was an awesome time to sit down, and we talked about the plans of the future of our senior class. And I want you to know that I walked away from that conversation feeling something I think we all need more of in this world. Hope. That's the word that came to mind. You're stepping into all kinds of futures. Some of you are heading off to serve our country, especially as I saw the Navy show up at our awards earlier. We also have other armed forces represented. Some of you are training to be electricians, welders, HVAC techs, and some are going to college. Some are diving into science, nursing, nuclear propulsion. Seriously, nuclear propulsion, right? That's right. Things that take serious guts and commitment. One of you told me that you're going to study marine biology. Another is working towards becoming a probation officer, a force for good in someone else's life. Some of you are going to climb roofs and light up city blocks. Others will be protecting wildlife and natural resources. These are big, bold dreams. Don't let anyone ever tell you you can't do it. You can, and you will. Every single plan you shared with me was different, but they all had one thing in common. You've got a direction, and you got your eyes set on the future and moving forward. And look, the path here looked different for each of you, but you're ready for what's next along the way. You built connections with teachers, classmates, mentors, people who saw you for who you are and what you're capable of. That's what you got here. You didn't just earn a diploma this evening. You built a foundation, a launch pad. You built something solid to stand on. So when you wake up tomorrow and the world feels bigger and full of possibilities, and it will, just remember who you are and know in your heart that you've got this. You absolutely do. Carry that strength into whatever comes next. Build your future with the same determination that brought you to the finishing high school. Tonight is not an ending. It's not even a restart. It's a new beginning, a real one, the kind you created for yourself. And no matter where you go, know this. Your Renaissance family in Clarkson Community Schools will always be cheering for you. Now go, grow, and never forget you were planted to rise. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you.
Next, we're going to have our Renaissance staff speaker. I kind of pushed him into this a little bit, but our staff speaker is, found the sweet spot between expectation and grace for students, and was very creative, and never met anyone with more energy than him. And his creativity and ingenuity for students to complete projects has been fantastic. I would like you to please welcome our media teacher, Matt Blow, as our staff speaker.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Blow. As Mr. Bigger said, I'm the media production teacher. I'm in somewhat of a unique circumstance. I teach at both Clarkston High School and Renaissance High School. So I never thought I'd be giving a graduation speech like this, kind of being back and forth between both buildings. But a couple weeks ago, I'll say, Mr. Bigger encouraged me to be the guest speaker for tonight. So that got me reflecting about my time here at Renaissance, and just kind of how, while both high schools have their pros and cons and their strengths and weaknesses, what kind of makes Renaissance so unique. And the phrase that kept coming to mind was that it was a good fit. I think so many of the people here, whether you're staff or student or faculty or whatever, you're here because it was a good fit. For whatever reason, some other school, some other program just didn't quite work for you. But if you're here tonight, you've proven that Renaissance was the right fit for you. One of the strengths of Renaissance is that it's such a small school, we get to have this real strong community sense that a big school just can't manage just because of its size. One slight example I like to give of that is, I think it was in my first month or so at Renaissance, and I saw an email from Miss Porritt, and it was something to the effect of, hey teachers, can you send, I forget the student's name, Sally down to the front office there, she needs to be picked up or something like that. And my reaction was, wow, no last name was needed. She just said the first name of the student, and the entire faculty knew what student that was and knew who to send down to the office. Meanwhile, at the other high school, just because it's so big, we'll get the occasional email of, hey, can you identify this student on the security cam footage? We need to know who the student is because we need to talk to them for some reason. And at a school that size, you just can't have every staff member know who every student is. Because we are so close, we get that community and family sense. There's students that have never been in my class before that know my name, talk to me in the hallway, say hi to me, help my students on projects, and have even joined my students on field trips. That's the kind of stuff that just doesn't work as well in a big school. Again, that community, that family element. Doesn't mean we always get along. Just like with your family, sometimes mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister drives you nuts, and you're mad, and you argue, and maybe you storm off. But at the end of the day, we have that one connective goal, trying to get you guys to where you're here today, graduating and going on to the next stage in your life. I also reflected a lot about what graduation means. I feel like people often assume high school graduation is a foregone conclusion, that like, well, everyone does that, it's not a big deal. Well, I think everyone in this room, students, staff, knows someone that isn't walking across the stage today for whatever reason. Now, hopefully they're still working on it, and maybe they'll be here next semester, next year, but sometimes the kids drop out or change programs, and then we don't always know what happens to them. If you're here today, you have done something that not everyone has done. You have done things that were not a foregone conclusion. There were things you had to work on it. I think in my first year at Renaissance, I had a student that was failing my class. And I told him, hey, you need to do a final project. It doesn't need to be a great final project, but it needs to be, you need to turn in something, and I think we can get you there. Took him a while, but he turned something in. It wasn't amazing. It didn't follow all the rubrics. He didn't get a great grade on it. But as soon as I posted that grade, he commented and said, Mr. Blow, what does this mean? I said, well, this means your final grade in the class is a 59.5%, which rounds up to a D-, which means you passed the class. He said, thank you, Mr. Blow. And I think a week or two later, he even shook my hand or gave me a hug at graduation. And I thought about that for a while. I was like, he's so thankful for a D-. And I didn't really understand it at first. But I thought about it more. And I realized what that D- probably meant to him. This is a kid that was struggling in a lot of classes. He had a job that kept him really busy. He might have been struggling at home. All these factors. But what that D- meant was that he didn't need that extra semester. He didn't need to go to summer school or take an online class or anything like that. He was finally done with high school and could move on to the next stage, and that meant a lot to him. I've talked to students sometimes about how sometimes they feel school isn't important. Well, I'm never going to use that thing I learned in math or English or science or whatever the class might be. And sometimes that conversation I somewhat agree with. I haven't used everything I've ever learned in high school in my adult life. That's true. But you're learning a lot of skills, whether you realize it or not, that you will be using in some way, shape, or form the rest of your life. You had to work with your classmates. Some were great to work with, some were probably a bit of a pain to work with, but you worked with them. You had to talk to teachers. Maybe you had to negotiate how late an assignment could be so you can get the points you need to move on. You had to show up at least enough. You had to turn in stuff. All those are things that whatever you do in your post-high school life, you'll have to keep doing. In my class, specifically, we make videos. In my intro class, you're required to write a script for your video. And that's something a lot of students don't love doing. They just want to grab the camera, start filming, start doing their stuff. And I say, well, no, I want to see a plan. I want to see what you're going to do. I want to see that it makes sense. I want to talk to you about it. It's not that I'm holding up that script to your final video. I just want to see that you have a plan in action for what that is going to be. You might never write a script again. That's totally possible, totally reasonable. But the rest of your life, you're going to have to make some plans. Your car's going to break down. Your kid's going to get sick. There's going to be some kind of family emergency. You're going to get a new job. You're going to quit a job. And you're going to have to make a plan for what to do next. I'm hoping you're not holding up the plan you make at 16 or 18 or 20 several years later and go, oh, I didn't do that exact plan. Your plan's probably going to change. You might have to add things to it, subtract things to it, maybe even throw it out and make a new one. But the rest of your life, you'll be making some kind of plan based on what's happening in your world. At the end of the year, when I sign yearbooks, I generally sign them one of two ways. I sign them with questions, comments, concerns, which if you've been in my class before, you've heard me say countless times. The other thing I like to sign with is a quote from Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World. That might be dating myself here a little bit, but that's a great show for those that haven't seen it. Back on TGIF, for the people my age or older in the crowd. In the final episode of Boy Meets World, Mr. Feeney gathers the students that have been around for a long time. And the message he gives these students is, believe in yourself, dream, try, do good. And right after he says that, one of the students makes a point to say, don't you mean do well? And Mr. Feeney goes, no, I mean do good. So Renaissance students, whatever you're doing post-high school, whether it's college or trade school, the armed services, or just hopping right into the workforce, whatever it is, believe in yourselves, dream, try, and most of all, do good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blow. Earlier tonight, we had the opportunity to award some scholarships, and I'm just going to kind of read off the scholarships and who received them for those of you that were not able to be at our award ceremony. The Waypoint Scholarship was given to Nicholas Holcomb and Addison Wayne. Clarkson United Methodist Church gave the Hugh Rose Scholarship to each student that was there, and the Optimist gave a scholarship to Matthew Langlos. And the Rotary gave their scholarships to Tyler Baumgrass, Jayla Pike, Alex York, and Kyle Douglas. The Masons, that's a new scholarship to us, was given to Caden Harding, Jayla Pike, Matthew Langlos, and Kyle Douglas. So congratulations to all the scholarship winners. About a month ago, I wrote a speech for tonight, and it wasn't sitting well with me. And I had some people read some parts of it, and they said, yeah, it sounds good. And I thought, no, it doesn't. And I continued to wrestle with it and wrestle with it. So it just didn't fit this class. And I had a few minutes with the seniors today at rehearsal, and it's kind of my last time with just the seniors. And I told them that it just didn't work for this class because every class is a little different. And they have a different, bent to them. They have a different outlook and a different fabric. It's just different. And I just didn't like it. So this morning I wrote a new speech because I didn't like that one. I don't know why I waited till the last minute, but I want to let you know that to the parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, Board of Education, Superintendent Ryan, teachers, and everyone else, this speech isn't for you. So this is for you, okay? So I need you to do a quick thing for me, and I need you to say loudly, it's no big deal. Come on, you're louder than that in the bathrooms. Okay, I'm going to read a series of things here, and then I'm going to ask you to repeat that. Remember when you had a new beginning by starting pre-kindergarten or kindergarten? Remember when you had a new beginning by starting elementary school? Remember when you had a new beginning by starting middle school? That's a rough one. Remember when you had a new beginning by starting junior high? How about a new beginning when you started high school? How about a new beginning when you started Renaissance? Taking state tests? How about driver's ed? Using Google Classroom? Having to wear masks at school? You've already done a lot of things and a lot of new beginnings, and some of these were easy and some of them came with great struggle. And as such, you're well prepared to take the next steps into a new beginning. And you know what? It is no big deal. But I want to let you know that I love each and every one of you for finding the grit within yourself to succeed and finish high school. And for some of you, that was a big mountain to climb. And for some of you, it was diligence to get to school every day. And for some of you, it was coming back for a 5th year to finish. And as I've seen you seek out the support you've needed along the way to get this chapter of your life done, I could not be more proud of who you are, and I cannot wait to see what you become. Now you've heard, now as you head out into this new beginning, to make your mark on the world, make sure that you do great things because it is a big deal. I want to leave you with some advice, but not from me. We sent a few people over to Clarkston Elementary, and I want to leave you guys with some advice from the kindergarten class of 2037 from Clarkston Elementary.
What advice do you have for the graduating seniors, and try to be nice and loud so we can hear you?
You got this. You should be a hockey player. You should help people, make people happy. You got this in the bag. You should practice playing hockey. You should go on vacation. This is mine, and it says you should just do it, and you will get used to it. Somebody's always by your side. Don't sweat it. You have courage. You got this. Listen to your good side. Don't stop doing what you love. You got You always have someone by your side. Don't be too hard on yourself. Listen to your brave side. That's 2.
Good.
Don't ever lose your sense of wonder.
At this time, we're going to have a couple of our Renaissance student speakers come up, and they're always last to speak because they're obviously the best. And so our first student speaker today is graduating senior Emma Simcoe.
Hey. Y'all were here. We made it. It's kind of crazy. 13 years of schooling and a lot of hard work. For those of you that started with pre-K, 14 years. I see you putting in that extra work. Okay. Graduation is special to everyone. And although we all have our individual pathways, it also has the same meaning to us all. It's a time for new beginnings, a time to not start over, but to start anew. And as you go off and do your thing, remember to look back on what you've learned and be grateful for the people and things that have happened during your time in school. Oh, yeah, I'm nervous. Okay. Every experience you've had, whether it's your teacher sitting down and helping you with homework, the way your parents or siblings taught you to study for a test, or even making and losing friends, it all helps to shape who we are and how we go forth and approach the rest of our lives. Whoa, scary stuff. And one last thing to end my speech. It's a little off topic, but I would like to give a shout out to my little sister, Abby. You inspire me to lead the best example I can and basically be the best me that I can be. Hopefully all of you have someone that inspires you to do the same. And if you don't, then be that person for yourself, because your actions won't just benefit your life, but can help guide and influence somebody else's. Thank you.
Our second student speaker for tonight is our valedictorian, Abigail Ritzenhein.
I would like to begin by saying congratulations to my fellow classmates, as well as a huge thank you to Dr. Sean Ryan, the Board of Education, Mr. Bigger, and all RHS staff. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and the tools to be able to speak here today. I would also like to thank all of our families for being here today to support us. You don't go unnoticed. I have spent all of my senior year thinking about this speech. What was I going to say? How was I going to say it? And how excited I am to be here in front of all of you today. But when it came to sitting down at my computer to start writing, my mind went blank. I've had so many exciting experiences. I have learned so many new things, and I have met so many amazing people who have shaped me into who I am today. How am I supposed to shorten that all into a 5-minute speech? Well, when you Google how to write a good graduation speech, among Washington Post articles and things locked behind a paywall, you get a list. 1, welcome and thank peers, families, and administration. Check. 2, Congratulate your peers. Check. 3, tell a story or recount achievement. This was the part I was most excited for. My time at RHS has been nothing short of extraordinary. I am truly grateful to have been able to meet each and every one of you. This year's theme is New Beginnings, if you couldn't tell already. And when I look back at the last 4 years, there is one lesson that stands out as my new beginning. So, let me tell you my story. It was still hot outside, probably early September, and I was staring out the second-story window of Mr. Humphrey's English classroom. I was waiting for the bell to ring so that I could go home and I could scroll on my phone. Mr. Humphrey had projected a grid of 100 boxes onto his whiteboard. There were already 16 colored in streaky red Expo marker. Each box, he told us, pointing to the board, is 1 year of your life. And if you're lucky, you'll get about 100 of them. He reached for another marker and carefully filled in another 28 boxes. These, he said, are what you will spend eating, sleeping, or taking a dump. He looked at us expectantly, waiting for us to laugh. And then he turned to the empty boxes. And this is what you have left to do something with. He went on to tell us about all of the important people in history, how they had spent their lives, filled their boxes, until he turned to us. You all have that same opportunity to make an impact on the world around you. Spend the rest of your time wisely. The bell rang. That moment was my new beginning. I will not lie and say the last 4 years have been without hardship, but every time I have struggled, wanted to drop out of school, stop volunteering, stop making a difference, stop going to work, I have come back to Mr. Humphrey. I have come back to the boxes, back to how much time I have left to do something good. Number 4, provide advice or well wishes to your classmates. I leave you with this, RHS. You have the rest of your life to make a difference. And when you leave today, you get to start over. You get to be an adult. You get to do whatever you want. And I hope you fill your boxes doing something to better our world. Thank you.
So there was a survey done quite some time ago where they asked people what their greatest fear was, and public speaking was above death. So people would rather die than come up and speak in public. So I just want to say thank you to our 2 student speakers for being brave and for coming up here and for giving us some wise words. Thank you. Graduates, this is the moment you've all been waiting for, the conferring of the diplomas. And coming up to read your names is our very own counselor, Mrs. Youngerman. Mrs. Silve and Mrs. Hilliker, would you please bring the graduates forward?
Liliana Marie Alessi. Tyler Bumgrass. Bain Jared Bonilla. Brooklyn Sierra Burns. Casey James Carlson. Noah Garrett Chiapelli. Kyle Michael Douglas. Kagan Jacob Bradley Ford. Jaden Tyler Frazier. Kiera Bailey Getz. Caden Nicholas Harding. Nicholas Adrian Holcomb. Matthew Manuel Langlois. Michael Andres Langlois. Timothy Lewis Meldrum III. Derek Michael Newman. Jaden David O'Halloran. Jason Matthew Powers. John A. Lee Rhymes. Abigail Rose Ritzenheim. Emma Simcoe. Elizabeth Ann Vick. Addison May Wayne. Nevaeh Sky Warden. Alexander Patrick York.
Class of 2025, would you stand up? With much love, I congratulate you. As graduates, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your mortarboard. Is that all you got? It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Renaissance High School graduate class of 2025. I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on this day of celebration, and especially to celebrate the graduating seniors. I would like to ask one thing. Please allow the graduates to exit before you head out into the narthex to find them so that they can get out and find their families. Amy, I think we're ready to end this.
Shattered windows and the sound